Welcome to Rosten Review.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Rosten's Reviews. My name is Mr. Rosten, Cluster 6-1 Social Studies teacher here at BMS, and I am very, very excited to bring you yet another season of Rosten's Reviews. Woo! We're back, baby. Man, 2022, 2023, it's gonna be a year, baby. Gonna be a year. So we are back to review what we did in social studies. It's been a great first 2 weeks. A new crop of sixth graders coming into BMS, and let me tell you, y'all have been a pleasure so far to work with. Just a pleasure. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's do it. All right, so first things first, what we did when we first got into social studies is we went over the classroom rules and the expectations. And as some of you may remember, we worked on what's called a working agreement. A working agreement is something that you and I both agree on, and it's rules that we follow throughout the classroom. Now, all 5 of my classes did it, and a lot of the rules were very similar. Respect yourself and others, no talking while others are talking, listening carefully, complete work on times, ask questions, and ask for help, right? Those are our classroom rules. Those are our working agreement. And of course, we have our expectations, 1, be on class on time. All of your core classes, except for some of our classes that are downstairs, are fairly close, right? Math and science and ELA and literacy are all right in the same little hallway in the same little pod. So it shouldn't take you very long to get from one class to another. So be on time. Class expectation number 2, come prepared, right? You need to have every day in social studies, you need a writing utensil, either a pen or a pencil. You need your Chromebook. You need headphones. You also need your planner. And of course, you need your binder, which is located in the back of my room. So, those are the classroom expectations. Also, you need to make sure that you have highlighters available, which, I have some. So if you forget, not a big deal. But it's all good. All right? So, we did our classroom expectations. We met the classroom and we went over everything in the room. So, for example, we showed you where the homework board is. We showed you where the important information is. We showed you the quote of the day. We showed you where you keep your binders. We showed you the word wall, the wall of fame, where in the world we are on my big map. We showed you the front of the room with the team points and the agenda, which will be updated on Monday when you come in, which is going to be awesome. And we also have our agenda, and that's really much the classroom. So after we went through all these routines and these rules, we went through our get to know you activities, right? So we did a few activities that I would like to share. So if we take a look here, the first activity we did was a Twitter profile. We went over things like, oh wait, I need to switch the camera. No, that's all right, we can stay here. We went through our Twitter profile. So our Twitter profile has your name, your birthday. We went through, you wrote a status about your morning, which was cool. You told me about who you followed online or actors, actresses. And then we went through your career goals, your study habits, your favorite and least favorite subjects, your hobbies and interests, your heroes, your role models, your proudest moment, and you told me how you learn best, which is great. Then we shared that with our group mates to get to know each other a little bit. Next thing we did was our shield activity, and I love this activity. It's a great way for you to learn people's names and learn something about them. So we filled out our name. On the top left, we did our favorite sport or activity. On the top right, our favorite color, and we colored it in. We did our favorite food and our favorite ice cream. Some of you had weird flavor combinations that you liked, but I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to help you get to know each other. All right? So after those get to know you activities and we went through the routines and we made sure we handed out Chromebooks this week, which was awesome, we started on our introduction to maps. So the first thing we needed to determine is, what is a map, right? And a map, we found out, is something that helps us get from one place to another, right? And that there's different parts of a map. So we learned about maps and how they show land, water, and locations. We did this cool little activity here. We went through it. We learned about the equator and how the equator separates the Earth into two hemispheres, the northern hemisphere on top, the southern hemisphere on the bottom, and how the prime meridian separates the Earth into two hemispheres again, the western hemisphere and the eastern hemisphere. Lastly, for our map, and then we did a little bit of work. You wrote down the 7 continents, and we went over them. We learned that the equator is at 0 degrees latitude. The prime meridian is at 0 degrees longitude. We named some continents that the prime meridian passes through. We found some cities on the eastern coast of South America. We did some latitude and longitude work. And that was it for this activity. The next activity, we did a little bit more on latitude and longitude, right? We marked up the north and south southern hemispheres, the east and western hemispheres, and we went over the global grid. We made note of how when you go up for latitude, it goes north. When you go down or south, you go with the S. And we learned about how the lines of longitude go east and west. So if you go to the right, it's going to go east. If you go to the left, it's going to go west. All right? We read a few little things on latitude, longitude, and the grid system. We did the topic. We highlighted our topic and then highlighted important information that goes with our topic. Okay? And then we answered some questions using the map on the other side. And that was our introductions to maps. All right? And that's all we did in social studies this week. Pretty quick week this week, right? Next week, we are going to take a small pause for starting with Blue class. We're taking a small pause because we're going to do a technology setup day. So please remember, have your Chromebook charged. Bring it in. Oh, wait. Let me just go back to full camera here. So that way. There we go. Hello. Hi. So, next week, Monday and Tuesday, for social studies, so starting with Blue class, we're going to do our technology setup. We have a lot of technology tools that we use in social studies. Things like Schoology, Edpuzzle, Khan Academy, Nearpod. I have a whole list. Go Guardian. All this good stuff that we need to make sure that you are set up and ready and raring to go. All right? So, Chromebooks and headphones at the beginning of the week. We're then going to jump back into our maps and our map skills. Next week, we're going to finish up on some map skills. We're going to learn the continents and oceans once and for all. We're going to take a pre-assessment on the 7 continents and 5 oceans. We're going to do some world map activities, and then at the beginning in 2 weeks, so I think Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to do our first assessment of a continents and oceans quiz. All right? Whew! That was a lot. Wow. Man. We did a lot in social studies. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got big things coming up. All right? So, in conclusion, for this week's Rosten reviews, we learned about maps. We learned about the lines of latitude and longitude, right? Latitude goes horizontal, east to west. Longitude goes north to south. But it switches when we look on the map, right? So the latitude goes north and south, right? 15 degrees north, 30 degrees north, 45 degrees north. And then it goes down 15 degrees south, 30 degrees south, and so forth and so on. And longitude starts at 0 at that prime meridian, goes 15, 30, 45, east and west. Bing, bang, boom, Bob's your uncle. All right, I'm very much looking forward to finishing up maps, going over things like compass rose and key, and finding cities using only the coordinates. Whew! It's going to be awesome. Going to be awesome. All right, some quick reminders. 1, Chromebooks next week because we're going to set up technology. 2, please, if you can, bring in some lined paper for those binders. So that way we can utilize that for some cool activities. 3, picture day is going to be either Wednesday the 21st or Thursday the 22nd. The schedule will come out sometime next week, and I will be sure to pass it along to both you and your parental units or guardians, whoever takes care of you at home. That's all I got. So, welcome back to Rosten Reviews. I'm very excited. Remember, this is a bi-weekly show, so every 2 weeks, every second Friday, I come on here live, review what we did in social studies, and that's all I got for you today. So I'm going to end with a quote. It might not be famous, but Grandpa Rosten said it, and I think it rings true here for school, and it's if you didn't expect to finish, why'd you start? So let's get back on the right foot. Let's come back next week, 110% effort, ready and raring to go, because you know your boy Mr. Rosten's going to bring it. 110%. Be kind to one another. Peace be with you and with you. Rosten